Welcome back, everyone. I have two things to say to start this interview. First, anybody familiar with the Sly and the Family Stone song, It's a Family Affair? We're about to prove that to you. And secondly, you're not hallucinating. He really is dressed as a captain. And there's a reason for that. Joining me today is Captain Dean Pole and Rachel Pole. They have the same last name. Here comes the family affair part. So first, welcome. Real nice to have you both here.
Thanks.
They are the proprietors of the Raquette Lake Navigation Company. Now, up on Raquette Lake, you have to know there's a very unique experience. You can go up there and you can hop aboard the W.W. Durant, which is a 60-foot boat that serves dinner and drinks and has fabulous cruises. So we want to talk about that. You know, Dean, I'm going to start with you. This company is celebrating its 25th anniversary. First, you're doing something right. Second, you picked a great part of the country. What got you involved with this to start?
We were basically just trying to earn a living in a very remote area of the Adirondacks and doing something that no one else was offering. There was no one doing what we proposed to do within over 100 miles of our location. So we were just filling a void, basically.
Well, it sounds to me that you may have been one of the few people that were not surprised by the idea that this was doable, right?
I was not at all surprised, and I had faith in the project from day one. And there were many naysayers, however, but we proved them all wrong.
Well, you sure did. You know, I can tell you firsthand, I have the experience of going up, my wife and I, and taking the cruise and having just a fabulous lunch. And we're going to talk about the cuisine because you've got to talk about the cuisine and the wine. Rachel, you're the next generation.
I am. My chef brother Jim and I are the next generation. We're the two children who stuck with the business along with our parents.
And why did you decide to stick with the business?
We just, we grew up on working on the boat. So we launched the boat in 1991. I turned 13 on the maiden voyage.
Oh my God.
My chef brother Jim, he was 10 years old that summer, and we would do our own thing, through school, in college, and then even after college, we would do our own thing in the winter, and we just always came back. So
you happen to live in one of the most beautiful areas of the country. You're offering such a unique experience for anybody that travels up to the Adirondacks. You have to try this. I can tell you it's just phenomenal. You can't escape it. It's in your blood, right? There's a wonderful photograph, by the way, on the website, I think is where I saw it. When it had to be when the boat was being built, or then you have photos after the boat was built, and you are literally a little one. You and your brother, right? Jim is the other Pole, the brother. And I think before we went on air, he was telling us that he started by bussing tables or whatever, got an interest in the culinary arts, and then went on to pursue that career. And didn't just decide to go down and decide how to fry some eggs.
Right.
I mean, he went to the Culinary Institute of America, right?
Absolutely.
And you can tell. So your handy title is beverage manager?
Bartender and beverage manager, and also special events coordinator.
I got it. Okay. So what's involved with that? Because you've got a fabulous wine list, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a rotating wine list because space is always something to consider on the boat. But I'm actually a working bartender, as well as I develop the wine list, the specialty cocktail list, the beer list, and then I collaborate with Jim, and we produce and put on different wine pairing dinners and beer pairing dinners, and come up with a menu. And so food and beverage goes hand in hand.
Now, for those of you that know Raquette Lake, right around that Blue Mountain Lake area up there, has quite a history to it. And I want to kind of share this with both of you. The W.W. Durant, of course, one of the big industrialists at the time, along with the Morgans and the Vanderbilts and all that, this was their playground, right, Dean?
It certainly was. This was during the Gilded Age period in our history. All of those business and industrial moguls had summer homes in the Raquette Lake region. So they came there for the entire summer. In most cases, had extensive preserves and employees and buildings and all sorts of facilities, and this was where they did all of their entertaining for that portion of the year.
Now, you know, we talk about summer camps. It gives new meaning to summer camps, doesn't it? You just mentioned quickly some of they had multiple buildings on the property, multiple staffs, their own farms, right? I remember
Correct.
you explaining in the cruise
Yep.
what was going on.
Yep.
Give us a little bit more information about that.
These places were more like small villages than anything else, with the employees and outnumbering the family and guests 2 to 1 in most cases. So everything was done on site. They made their own maple syrup. They had their own farms for poultry and produce and dairy products, and they were pretty self-sufficient because Raquette Lake was at that time really in the wilderness area.
Right, sure. They used to have to travel by rail in private coaches. Then they'd go over land. Then they'd go by boat. And I mean, it was quite a process to get up there. And then they'd get up there, and there would be these villages. And if you want to put it in perspective, I think the dining room you had mentioned sat something like 60 people. So that was a fairly large dining room. But I want to talk about the experience of going up and going on the boat. You running every day?
We run every day. Our typical schedule entails 18 cruises per week.
Wow,
We
that's a lot of
have
work.
a wide variety of offerings, from excursions to gourmet sit-down dinners.
Right, and again, I can tell you firsthand, I've experienced it. It's you want to say it's a surprise? It's such a pleasant surprise. You're on the boat all the time. Different times of the year, different things happen. Give us a sense of what that wonderful experience is like of being up there on the lake, on the boat. I mean, you've seen wildlife. Oh, tell the rainbow story.
Okay. It's just the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, it's amazing food. We're famous
Right.
for our food.
You sure are.
The captain, my dad, with his narration is just, I can't tell you the number of people who have asked if he used to be in radio. They just love his narration and commentary. You know, what I'm able to offer from the bar is just a great offering as well. And then you have the beauty of the Adirondacks as we sail around the lake.
You've touched that
it's
rainbow,
it's a gorgeous boat as well. So
That's it.
yeah, I mean, we've seen every single night on our dinner cruises, we always are able to produce a beautiful
Experience, right?
a beautiful experience, and there's usually a gorgeous sunset. A lot of times, you know, there have been times where people will look at the weather forecast and say, oh, we want to cancel because the weather's not looking that good. And I always tell them, you know, I would not do that. Some of the cruises that start off the rainiest turn out the nicest. The rainbow story that you're referring to, you know, it's not uncommon on these misty or rainy nights for it to clear up. We go up on the upper deck, wipe off all the tables and chairs. Everyone's able to come up for dessert up on the upper deck. This gorgeous sunset, and then a single rainbow, double rainbow, triple rainbow. I've actually had the experience of having the rainbow end on the boat, and I was able to put my arm through it, and my arm was rainbowed. So
You can start a religion.
but we've also seen, I mean, fawns, you know, swimming across the bay. I saw a bear cub one time. You just never know. Every cruise is different. It's always an adventure.
Well, you know what? The Durants and the Vanderbilts and the Morgans and all that, they knew what they were doing when they went up there, right?
Exactly.
And the fact that you keep this heritage alive and built this boat. So I want to thank you both very much for coming in. It's great to talk to you. It is a family affair. And we've got Donna and we've got Jim right off camera. You can't see them, but the chef is here. And the mom, the matriarch, is here as well. And good luck to you guys all summer long, all the way up until really the leaf changing season and all that. It's the Raquette Lake Navigation Company. Find it on the website, find it in the phone book. It's a beautiful drive to go up there through North Creek and wind out up there. And then to beat everything is the experience of going on the cruise and having great wine, great food, and just watching the magnificence of that experience come it unfolds right before your very eyes. How's
does.
that?
That sums it up well.
Good. Thanks for coming in. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.